Hello. How's everyone doing today? I know I look so different without my glasses. Don't worry though, they're coming. Just gotta clean them up here. How is everyone doing today? How's everyone's day going? Why am I stumbling over words? These are some of the world's greatest mysteries. There we go. Can I see through them now? Huzzah! I've done nothing but build virtual trains for the past 2 weeks. There you go. Now, why have you put yourself through that? Capitalism, of course. That's the main reason to build any trains. Rampant, unfettered, unregulated capitalism. There you go. Speaking of capitalism here, actually, I have a... So usually I'll have water on the side so that I can, not die of thirst. But I'd like to have a soda today. My only problem is, I'm not sure if you can tell what this is by the can. I don't want to show the logo because they're not paying me. And they're big enough of a company that I don't want their money. Well, I do want their money. I'd love their money. If they want to sponsor me, they can. But until that happens, I'm not showing their logo on stream. But, the way they make their cans, you'd still see some of the logo. I don't want that. Don't you worry. Because I have a solution. I've been thinking about this for a while. And I ended up ordering something off Amazon that I think will help me out with that. It'll definitely help me to make sure that certain logos don't appear on my stream when I don't want them to. So let's fix this issue. Just gonna fasten this down so that I don't have to worry about it falling off. But, oh, hold on. There's still another logo there. I didn't get all of it. By the way, if you don't have a roll of duct tape at home, get one. It's great to have. Super handy. There we go. Covering up the logos. Ugh. It's like covering up an address on a package. And there we go. A can of soda. See, now you can't tell at all what type of soda this is. Not a single guess in the world. Now that tastes like victory. Where do I put this roll of tape? I'll just put it up here. Stay. Perfect. But yeah, how's everyone doing today? Aside from your train building, everything been all right with you? You made Moroccan chicken tagine today. There you go. How'd that turn out? Getting super fancy. Probably made it very wrong, though. No. Are you kidding? I'm sure it was the most authentic way you could have made it. Period. I don't think anyone from the country, any of the countries of origin could have made it any better. And so long as it tastes good, you know, like that's the most important part. You can butcher, absolutely butcher a country's like national dish or a dish that they love. But if it tastes good, who cares? That's what I love about cooking. Sometimes recipes devolve into, throw a little of that, throw a little of that. And you know what? Toss a couple of these things in just for added measure. Yeah, I managed to munch down on some noodles before this. The sauce that they made them in, I swear, they drowned these noodles in this sauce. Like they were noodles that were supposed to be tossed in sauce, not in a broth. But they apparently just gave me all the sauce that they had. It was great. It was very tasty. All right. Let's get some better music for this. I don't feel like that. We'll figure it out. But yes, as the title says, title should be down here. As the title says, today I'm going through and I am ranking every single Pokemon design. I posted a couple videos. Hold on. I'll tell you the story in just 1 second here. Okay. It's just you and me now. So. So I posted a... Oh, there is a lot of Pokemon. Yes. So I posted a couple videos talking about designs that I disliked about Pokemon, and it made people mad. It made people really mad online. One of the videos is sitting at about 15,000 views, and the other is sitting at about 140,000. And there's a lot of people that are upset with me. And people kept bringing up, well, what about this Pokemon? Well, what about that Pokemon? Well, what about this and that? So you know what? I just want, there is 1008, 1006 or 1008. Let me get the accurate number for you. There. There is 1008 Pokemon. And not all of them are great designs. But today, I'm going to go through all of them. And we are going to find the absolute worst, most garbage designs of any of the Pokemon. So, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. There we go. So right here, we have a tier list. 1008, it was a great year. I remember it well. But we have a tier list. Now we have every single Pokemon that has ever existed, including regional variants, including Mega Evolutions, including Gigantamax. We have every single one of them. And I'm going to go through all of them today. And we're going to determine objectively which ones are the worst we completed that goal. Hold on. I got you. And pop. There we go. So we are going to objectively determine which Pokemon are the absolute worst designs. So, such negativity. You know what? People hated it. People hated it. They were so passionate about what I said and the Pokemon that I said were bad. So, you know what? We're going all in. We are going to find out which are objectively the worst designs and which are objectively the best. You know what? We're even going to put which Pokemon are objectively good, and we're going to go right down the middle of the road. Ta-da! So we have a couple different tiers. So we have top tier designs, pretty solid designs, all right designs, and then we have the two categories that people were arguing about the most: barely a Pokemon and not a Pokemon. Because there are some designs that are just not Pokemon. And a lot of them people had mentioned in the comments, I found were, I'd say they were Pokemon because there was something different about them, but like barely. They were towing a line. But we're going to find out. We are going to find out with absolute certainty which ones are bad Pokemon designs. So that's our goal today. So, like I said, there's 1,008 of them, and it is my job right now to guide us through and not take your entire night. Let's get some music going here. Just a little bit in the background. Can you hear that music all right? So it's only meant to be kind of background music here. You can't hear anything. It's only meant to be background music. It's not meant to drown me out. But, well, you know what? If you can't hear anything, then we're just not going to do it. We're just going to go through without, because we're serious today. So, if you have anything that you agree with me with, disagree with me with, let me know. I'd love to open this up to a discussion, even though objectively, my opinion is the correct one. So, but I'd love to hear your opinion. So let's do this. We're going to start off with number one and go all the way down. Debate you 1v1. Oh yeah, we'll do this. Don't worry. I feel like you'll agree with me for a lot of it, but we're rolling up the sleeves here. Let's get her done. So first off, right off the bat, Bulbasaur. The Bulbasaur is great. You know, he's a great Pokemon. Number one, first Pokemon that people got introduced to. There we go. Call you on Discord right now. You want to do this? Let's do this. You know what? Hello? Oh, okay. I scared him. All right, that's all right. We got this. If you do want to have that talk, though, by all means, I'd be more than happy to have you around. But we're going to get started. First off, with Bulbasaur. Now, Bulbasaur, number one, right? I'd say his design doesn't do anything bad per se. It doesn't do anything great either. You know, he's just a cabbage. So I'm going to throw him in he's in the all right designs. The design isn't terrible, but it could be worse, or it could be better. And I'm going to put the same thing with Ivysaur as well. And regular Venusaur. The whole line can go there. You know, but then we have to ask, what about the Mega Evolution? What about the Gigantamax? You know, now the Mega Evolution, I'm going to be honest. It's just Venusaur, but with like slightly more leaves and vines. He's got a nice little flower crown. It's adorable. But does it justify him being in a different category? I don't know. So I think we're going to put him in the same category. But I think that Gigantamax, with the giant hooded flower, giant tentacles coming out, I think I can go in the pretty solid designs. It changed enough about Venusaur that made it worthwhile. Now, Charmander's line is great, iconic, right? Who doesn't want a Charizard? And there's only one way to get to Charizard now. Charmander, I would say, sits in the all right designs. He is just a lizard. There's nothing really super awesome about him. And same with Charmeleon. You know, they're okay. But Charizard goes right at the top of the pretty solid designs. He's not quite top tier. And the only reason he's not is because of his two of his Mega Evolutions. Or his Mega Evolution, the Black Mega Evolution, top tier design. This is one of the best designs for anything. I think that when they gave him 2 Mega Evolutions, it was definitely an interesting call on their part, but I think one of them was a clear winner over the other one. Black one up top, regular, slightly more wingy Charizard on the all right designs. And then, of course, Gigantamax Charizard with the fire wings. That is a hard design to beat. That is wholeheartedly one of the coolest designs for one of the coolest Pokemon, period. Oh, okay. Hello? Hello? I cannot hear you if you are. Oh, there you are.
Yes. Hello?
Hello. How you doing?
Is everything okay?
Yep, I can hear you. Everyone can hear you. How you doing?
Oh, I'm okay, man. It's been a good day.
That's good.
I made some cool chicken. It was pretty tasty.
Chicken, that's good. Have you made that recipe before?
No.
No.
I
Well,
just kind of Googled Moroccan chicken and just made whatever showed up first.
Fair enough.
Whoever won Google's SEO today got to,
So whoever paid the most.
yeah, basically.
All right. So you're looking at the tier list, and of course you can have my stream up if you'd like. I think so far, do you have any objections to the list so far?
I object to Bulbasaur being pretty alright.
You object to Bulbasaur being pretty all right. Where would you put Bulbasaur?
I would put Bulbasaur in pretty solid.
Okay, now why would you put the onion in pretty solid?
The reason I say that is because like it's probably tainted by nostalgia, but it's like it's a classic Pokemon. It's got an iconic design. You could tell what it is like immediately by its silhouette.
Hmm.
Like it's adorable. Look at him. Like
I mean,
think it's just
I
like
like
a pretty solidly designed Pokemon.
I mean, I like onions as much as the next person.
I love onions.
But do you think that Bulbasaur matches up to Gigantamax, Venusaur, or Charizard? Like, do you think he's in the same tier as those?
Is that Gigantamax Venusaur?
That is Gigantamax, Venusaur, yes.
Okay, I did not play much of Sword and Shield.
That's all right. I didn't at all. That's why I'm the most qualified person to make this call, because I never played the game. No. The person with the least experience.
Objective.
Oh, exactly. I mean, look at it this way. I have no nostalgia when it comes to those games. I can't be biased. Not at all. So, I can only be objective.
I mean, like in general, yeah, I approve. I think Bulbasaur, in particular, I'm not as fan of big a fan of Ivysaur and Venusaur, but like Bulbasaur in and of itself, I think is a pretty solid design. And that's it's not even because like I would pick Bulbasaur a lot or anything. I never did, but I always liked my little onion boy.
The onion boy is great. You know, I still think he falls into the all right design where, you know what, instead of barely a Pokemon, let's rename this one to bad designs. Bad designs. And throw Mega Evolution Venusaur right in the bad designs.
Yeah, that's fair.
You cannot say that it is a different Pokemon from Venusaur when you just added a couple leaves. That's it.
It's a little more tree-like now.
Yeah, but you just... So I think that being an all-right design, I don't think he's a bad design. I think the rest of these guys kind of sit in the all-right design. I don't think he's up there with the pretty solid designs, and he's definitely not top tier.
I mean, like, if you're gonna... Is that Mega Charizard?
Yeah, so there's 2 Mega Charizards there.
So is that Y or X? In all right.
In all right, I believe that's Y.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think by that logic, then, do you think he deserves to go down in bad designs too?
You know what? I'd be fully willing to put him down in bad designs. They just made his head crest a little larger and gave him 2 more wings that are completely unnecessary.
Not even wings, they're like little fins.
Yeah. Like what's he gonna do? Swim? Like, congratulations, you made a fish. Like, no. That's definitely not worth it.
Congratulations, you made a fish.
Congratulations.
I don't think that's a fish, man.
That is exactly what a fish looks like. There is no mistaking. Trust me, I grew up around a lake. That is exactly what a fish looks like.
You grew up around.
All right, but speaking of lakes, what about the water starters from Gen 1?
Okay. This one I would be biased on.
Yes.
Squirrel has always been my boy. Even above like Charmander, I think was who I picked first.
Mm-hmm.
But I think basically any other time I went back to play those games or had the opportunity, I would pick up Squirtle.
It was Squirty Boy.
Yeah.
You know,
Squirtle in and of himself is not a super unique design. I mean, like a little turtle.
He is just a little turtle. He's got a little swirly tail, but
I forget the specifics behind it.
Well, I think, and let me know if you agree with this. Mm-hmm. I think that we can put Squirtle in all right design. I don't think there's anything that makes him necessarily a bad design per se. Yeah. Like, He's iconic. I think that all of the starters going in that one for the Kanto region is pretty solid. There was nothing that made any of them particularly grand. They were all right. But it was also Gen 1, and I tend to give Gen 1 a little more leeway than other generations because it was the first generation they were trying to figure things out.
I mean, sure. Sure.
However,
I will not
Wartortle
object to that.
However, Wartortle goes straight in bad designs.
Okay, I was actually going to bring this up. I've never been a fan of any of the
middle designs.
Middle evolution designs in basically all of the generations.
Mm-hmm.
I think. And that includes Charmeleon, and that includes Ivysaur.
They all just feel like angsty teenagers. Which I guess is what they are.
Right? That maybe they're in that awkward middle phase. And, I think that's maybe this is actually a trend in a lot of the earlier generations too. Mm-hmm. But I think starting from Gen 5 onward, they started to try and remedy that.
Yeah,
I say without any kind of evidence to back up that statement.
Well, don't worry, we'll get to them. All right. I think then you bring up a good point. Maybe Ivysaur goes down into the bad designs. Because he's just really angsty. The little flower, the leaves. It's not great.
I don't have anything. I wish there was an in-between between. Is all right middle of the road, or is all right
all right is decent? There's nothing necessarily wrong with them.
So I wish there was another tier between all right and bad. I don't want to say
what would you call that?
Bad. I mean, just fine.
Here, let's see if we can add a row.
I can't say anything particularly against their designs. I just never really cared much for them.
I don't think I can add a row here. So we'll just leave it as all right designs are there's nothing bad about them per se.
All right, then fine.
They're okay.
Leave them in there. I think Wartortle could also be an all right, but I guess it's your call.
I don't think so. His little ears and his poofy tail are they're too weird. They don't add up with the rest of his design. It makes him stand out so much from everyone else, and not necessarily in a good way. I get that they're supposed to be crashing waves or whatever, but and they completely ditch it on the next one.
It's a unique design though.
It is a unique design, but they Charmeleon is a good middle spot between Charmander and Charizard. They have a little bit of everyone. The same thing with the Bulbasaur line, right? Ivysaur has a little bit of the next step towards Venusaur. But Wartortle it just stands out. They give him the little ears and everything that they completely remove in the next evolution. It doesn't feel like a middle step at all. It just feels like almost its own separate thing. Is how I feel about it. I just, in the whole lineup, he doesn't add up. It's not great.
I mean, I kind of think about it as some kind of swimming aid when I look at it. And his name is Wartortle, and Blastoise is certainly built for war.
Blastoise is definitely built for war.
So I think I don't know. I get where you're coming from. I guess I disagree. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, Blastoise is going straight in pretty solid designs. And I would say Mega Blastoise, and this one's going to be a little controversial. I'd put him in the same category as pretty solid. I think that for a Mega Evolution, he definitely fills the part.
Yeah, it looks like an artillery cannon.
Exactly.
I don't get the handguns, though.
It's all right.
I think the handguns are weird.
Yeah, like the little shells. But the back cannon, I mean, that's what his back cannon should have been to begin with. No, that is a cannon.
I think it's okay as it is.
Yeah. And then
I think whoever designed Blastoise was really good. Good job.
Yeah, they were really good. All right, and then Gigantamax Blastoise turning into a Dreadnought.
This is one of those things that I, again, have never seen.
I mean, look at that. He's a warship now. He went from having some cannons to being like a tank to now he's a warship. And I think that would go in top tier designs.
Okay, well, I guess, yeah, Gigantamax makes you really big, looks like a fortress. Okay. I mean, I don't know if I can put that in top tier just because it's really big.
I mean,
think
bigger
it's pretty
is
solid.
better. Everyone knows that.
To an extent. To an extent. I still think Bulbasaur can be in pretty solid, but, you know.
All right. Well, we got to move on to the next bit of the thing, and I think we can pretty comfortably say that the Caterpie line goes right into not a Pokemon. These are not Pokemon at all. Caterpie is not a Pokemon. It is literally just a caterpillar.
Okay, but Squirtle is literally just a turtle, and he got an all right design.
But hear me out. He's blue and he changes up a little things. I'm going to show you what Caterpie is based off of.
Okay.
The Eastern Tiger Swallow-tailed Caterpillar. So there you go. Just gonna.
That's adorable.
By the way, to anyone who doesn't like bugs, I apologize. But so when you look at that, and then you look back at Caterpie, they didn't change anything about it, right? It's got the fake eyes, it's got the little horns. Look at that.
I have always found Caterpie to be an adorable Pokemon.
He's
Just
adorable.
in general.
He is adorable, but I don't think he's a Pokemon.
I think he's a Pokemon again. I don't know about Butterfree.
But Butterfree being in that
really
category, or
Caterpie in particular, I've always had a soft spot for. I also really like the Mystery Dungeon games, and Caterpie was a big part of like Red and Blue Rescue Team.
that's entirely fair.
I always thought he was really cute.
Okay, but now what about Gigantamax Butterfree? Which is just Butterfree with giant wings.
Again, that thing with the Pokemon I haven't seen. I'm not very into it.
Not into it?
No.
You know what? I fully agree. For a Gigantamax, there were a lot of Gigantamax that they did pretty cool things with and definitely had good designs. I think Butterfree just got left behind. I wouldn't put it in not a Pokemon, but I definitely would put it at a bad design.
Did any other bug Pokemon get Gigantamaxes?
I think a few of them did. There's a couple of them that we'll come across later on that got their own Gigantamax. Everyone else just kind of got bigger.
Okay.
All right. Now, what about the Weedle line?
Weedle, I've also had a soft spot for.
I would honestly.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
know why. I think I like Weedle less than Caterpie, weirdly enough.
Mm-hmm. Is it because of his little spine? He doesn't look as cute, for sure. And he was way more annoying to go up against in the games.
Yeah, I think I just found him frustrating.
Right, with Poison Point almost right off the bat.
Yeah.
Or Poison Sting.
Caterpie is not a Pokemon, but
I don't think it's a bad design Pokemon. I put it in not a Pokemon just because it there are some Pokemon that they just didn't change anything from their initial inspiration. And I feel like Caterpie is one of those Pokemon. Like, sure, its horns got turned red from what, yellow? But
oh no.
I wouldn't count that as enough of a change to warrant it being like it's a great Pokemon. It's just design wise, it's not a Pokemon. I would say. Same with Butterfree. I think it's just a butterfly. And then Metapod, I mean.
It looks more like a moth.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could see that.
Am I wrong? I mean, like, yeah, I mean, there are those white butterflies you see
Well,
out and about.
I mean,
guess.
I think based on the name Butterfree, you might be incorrect, but
Am I wrong?
on him being a moth?
Does he look like a moth? I mean, like moths have really like leathery ripped wings.
Yeah, and moths are fluffier.
I'm also Canadian, and I'm very used to looking at yellow butterflies. So,
That is fair. What are they even called? Just those little tiny.
I don't know.
I don't even know what they are.
They're
They're
everywhere.
they're butterflies. It's the best we got.
I mean, we have monarchs sometimes.
Yeah, but the world doesn't really have monarchs. The world has monarchs sometimes.
Yeah, it's fair. Anyway,
Yes. Now,
uh,
I think that Kakuna. I think Kakuna and Beedrill can both go in the all right designs. I think that they changed up enough about them, especially Beedrill, where it's definitely a bee, but it's like with the giant stinger hands. It's different enough where you can see the inspiration, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's a bad design. It's very iconic.
still wish we had more tiers.
I tried to add one. It won't let me.
Oh well.
Alignment chart. Which Pokemon are chaotic evil? Caterpie would be
Definitely
chaotic
Beedrill.
evil. I mean, look at those
cold,
eyes.
Dead eyes.
Those cold, dead eyes. Did those look like the eyes of mercy? All right. Now, what is this? Is this Galarian Beedrill?
I'm not sure.
Or what is this?
Was there a Mega Beedrill?
I don't think Beedrill got a Mega Evolution. I don't think. Oh, no, you
there
know what?
it
That is Mega Evolution. Okay. So that's Mega Evolution Beedrill.
I like it.
I was about to say, I think that one, I don't think it's top tier, but that's definitely can go in pretty solid designs.
It's pretty good.
Like, it's a next step up from Beedrill. It looks aggressive. Now we can immediately go to Pidgey. I'm willing to put Pidgey in not a Pokemon. What do you think?
I am also willing to put Pidgey in not a Pokemon.
Not a Pokemon. It's just a bird.
Yeah, if we're treating not a Pokemon not necessarily as a like con on its design, but more so a lack of
Design, like, changes.
design in general, then yeah, I'm willing to put Pidgey in not a Pokemon.
You don't know. In the next Pokemon games, they're just going to have, like, a JPEG of, like, an animal.
It's just a dog.
It's just
one
a
of, like,
dog.
the developers' dogs.
Yeah.
It's like scanned into the game.
It's not even a photo of the dog. It's like a scan of a photo of a dog. Like, it's just flat. They go with the 3D world. You just see it like flipping around like Flat Stanley.
It'll just be VR,
Yeah.
but it'll be more Nintendogs than Pokemon.
There you go.
At least that seems
Nintendogs
to be the
Pokemon
direction
Edition.
Nintendo wants to go.
Oh yeah, with
All
with
the
with the
camping mechanics and stuff.
God.
Sandwiches for some reason.
It started in what was it? It started with, I think it was X and Y. I think X and Y started with the companion, like, oh, you can take care of your Pokemon and like brush them and wash them and everything. I think that's where it started. It's a weird concept, and they've kept it around because it's like, well, you can, you can.
I don't even mind it as like a concept even. I think it's pretty cool. Like I don't mind the idea of camping in Pokemon games. I think it's a really cool idea. I think the idea of being able to set up a campsite like in the world is really fun. I really like the secret bases in the third generation for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't necessarily campsites, but it was close as we got, really.
I think that my biggest issue with them has been the fact that if you do that religiously, your Pokemon will all of a sudden, it'll just make the game so much easier. because your Pokemon will be like, oh, it survived because it was determined, or it avoided the attack. Yeah,
thing.
that's what those things are for. And that feature I really dislike. It just makes the game too easy. Like, you spend an hour taking care of your Pokemon and it's GG for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I didn't consider that.
Yeah. I think it's a cool feature, especially in a 3D Pokemon game, to be able to stand there with your Pokemon and like, oh, cool. But just again, the advantages that it gives you.
I don't mind the feature in and of itself. If that's kind of experience they want, or like they actually want to go through like kind of the role playing process of building up a friendship with their Pokemon and being able to get through by virtue of their bond and stuff, that's fine.
They want their RPG to be more like an RPG.
But I don't know. I doesn't it happen anyway? The more you battle with them.
Yeah, that's my point. The more you walk around with them and keep them in your party, the higher the friendship goes.
I remember getting to like the third gym in Sword, and this is roughly when I stopped playing, and like I was starting to get those things happening. Like, got a crit because it was determined, or managed to withstand the hit thanks to your cheers or whatever. It's cool, I guess. I don't know.
It's cool. It just makes the game too easy. Yeah, it just makes. Yeah, don't make it mandatory.
People opt out.
Well, yeah,
use that stuff in competitive.
Oh, people do, like, because it's a great way to level up EVs and IVs. So people use those features for competitive to like breed perfect Pokemon. It's just ridiculous that you have to do that, but whatever. Anyways,
I don't know anything about competitive. Let's talk about Pidgey.
Yeah, Pidgeotto and Pidgeot. Oh, Pidgey's just a bird.
I always like the Pidgey evolutions, all of them.
I think that the Pidgey evolutions are pretty solid. I
mean, Pidgeotto and Pidgeot are basically interchangeable. And I think for a very long time, I didn't actually end up with a Pidgeot.
Mm-hmm. I think that we can comfortably put them both in all right design. Like, I don't think they're pretty solid, but I think there's nothing wrong with them for sure. I'm a huge fan of the Pidgeot design, but I don't think it's good enough to go up in like the Charizard level, you know?
Yeah, no.
And then Mega Pidgeot.
Mega Pidgeot.
The hair just keeps getting longer.
That massive spike coming out of its forehead.
it's the Yugimoto hair.
Look at that hair compared to the size of its face.
It literally is. It's just a Yugimoto.
Oh my god.
That's Mega Pidgeot right here.
I need to see it again. What do I think? I think, in all honesty, I think it's fine. I think it looks really silly, but I think it's fun. I think it's fine.
What is this picture?
I do not like 3D Mega Pidgeot.
Look at his little feet. Why is his body so long? Why are his feet so small?
All the Pidgeys have tiny feet.
No, but look at this. This looks normal. His feet look normal sized, like they're tucked in. Look, here's another one where his feet look normal sized. What is this fat bird? What is this chunky boy? What is he doing?
They are all like that, though. Look at the cheerleader. I am not joking.
I feel like they all have their
feet.
Yeah, but look, these feet look like normal feet, and those are just folded in, right? So I have to imagine that they're regular sized, and then Pidgey's feet are just, I mean, it's a bird. But like,
it's a bird.
Is this fan art?
I don't know.
What website is this? I don't know if I want to stay on this website.
Pokemon Pets. This looks shady as hell.
It does look shady as hell. Oh,
Anybody sporting the Turkish flag is. I should say that.
He's talking to you, Hassan.
No, I shouldn't.
Dude,
say
I
in
would
all
pay money to
honesty-
see you 1v1 Hassan. In other words, I'd pay money to watch you get your ass kicked by Hassan. Hassan's a monster. Have you ever seen that man?
No, I don't know who's Hassan
Oh,
is. Yeah,
Hassan
Megapidgeot,
Piker.
I don't actually have anything against it. I think it's okay.
Hassan Piker. He's a big boy. Let's take my word for it. He's a big boy. Yeah, I think it can go in all right design. All right, now we're up to the Rattatas. Now this is one of those ones that everyone, there were so many people when I was talking about Flamigo and their design, everyone was like, "Whoa, what about Rattata?" I think that Rattata isn't a great design, but I still think he's a Pokemon. I still think it's changed up enough where he's a Pokemon.
I disagree.
You disagree?
That is a rat and at best a mouse. However, I only disagree on the original Rattata. The addition of a mustache pushes me over the edge.
I mean, okay, you know what? Rattata can go right in the not a Pokemon. I agree, and I think Raticate can go there too.
Yeah, I think so too.
However, Chunky Boy and Mr. Mustache, straight to top tier.
Oh no. Are you serious?
Okay. Chunky Boy can go in pretty solid, but I think any Pokemon with the addition of a mustache is top tier.
How many? Or I guess we're about to find out how many Pokemon have a mustache.
There's not that many.
I don't disagree with this.
This is a correct decision. He's right up there with Gigantamax, Blastoise, and Charizard.
I have no objection.
Sparrow and Pharaoh. I think they're bad designs. I think Pharaoh can go in all right designs, but Sparrow is just.
I never really liked Pharaoh as a design. I don't think it's a very appealing looking design.
No, with his crinkly neck.
Yeah.
Like, guy needs to go see a chiropractor.
I think they both could go solidly into bad designs, in my opinion.
You know what? I was trying to be nice with Pharaoh, but I do agree. I've always hated their designs, and the fact that this little stupid bird right here was chasing Ash in the first episode, instantly. If we could just remove it from the decks, that'd be fine. Now, Ekans and Arbok. This is another one. Arbok. So Ekans, I think, is just a snake.
I think Arbok is just a cobra.
Here's the thing. I think that, and this is where I was disagreeing with people. I think that Arbok, although it's just a snake, I feel like the face on its stomach is stylized enough to make it a Pokemon. I think the Ekans can go into not a Pokemon, but I feel like Arbok is just different enough where it's like, okay, that's a Pokemon.
Let me pull up a picture of a cobra real quick. Let me just see.
Yeah.
I might or might not agree with you on this. Oh, interesting.
So like cobras have little dots and lines.
Well,
but
I see one cobra in particular that looks like it has a face, but it's on the back of its neck.
Yes. Yeah, I see those as well. The little smiley face on the back of its neck.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like it's just stylized enough where it's like, okay, it's a Pokemon.
I think a good Pokemon, you should be able to tell what it is by its silhouette.
Yes.
Like, if I was to show you a silhouette of Butterfree, or show anyone a silhouette of Butterfree, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who could pick out what Pokemon it is, but the general principle of it,
I
By
don't
that
think
principle, I still don't think
I
Arbok considers
think
a
with
Pokemon.
I think with Pokemon like Vivillon and other Pokemon like that, I feel like it's getting harder to tell which one's Pidgey.
We'll get there when we get there. We're barely
We'll
started
get there
on
when we
Gen
get there.
1.
That's like Gen 8. We're still on Gen 1, so we gotta we gotta start speeding this up a little bit. I love the
Yeah, let's-
conversation. All right, so
No,
Arbok,
I think not a Pokemon.
you think not a Pokemon?
Yeah.
You know what? Call it. I'm gonna flip a coin. You call it. Heads or tails?
First objective decision all evening.
The only subjective is. All right,
I'll go with tails.
you go with tails.
Yeah.
All right, it's not a Pokemon.
All right.
It was
I
tails.
approve of this decision.
All right,
Everyone who's upset by this, you could blame me for this.
yes, blame.
Not that I have any kind of Twitch or anything.
Yeah, so if you just look at this profile right here, I'm pointing at it. This man is the one that you want to go harass. This don't actually go harass him, but like
I don't use Twitch, so I won't see it anyway.
fair enough. All right, Pikachu. I think it's iconic.
It's iconic.
I think
Yeah,
it can go in pretty solid designs.
It has to.
It has to.
I mean, there are probably contrarians out there who would be like, "Oh, Pikachu is overplayed." And yeah, it is, but
It
that
is,
doesn't change
absolutely.
the fact that it's a solid design.
And I don't think that there's been any Pikachu clone either that has reached the level of like Pikachu. Right? Because
No.
every generation has a Pikachu clone.
Well, I don't think every generation.
Every.
Just a lot of the recent ones.
Every generation has a Pikachu wannabe. Every single generation has a electric mouse Pokemon. Every one of them. Trust me.
I don't think so.
Well, we'll get to them, but I'm telling you, it's a staple of every generation. It's like having a flying or a bird as one of the first Pokemon that you encounter. Every generation has one.
All right, well, let's keep going.
We'll see. All right, Raichu.
I like Surfy Raichu.
Alolan
personally. I think that's a
Raichu?
really solid design.
I think that Alolan Raichu can go in pretty solid designs. I think that Raichu itself it's an all right design. I never felt like Raichu added up to like what Pikachu was.
I would be willing to put Surfer Raichu at top tier.
You'd be willing. You know what?
I think it's a cool concept. I like the idea that he's surfing on his tail. The
Especially-
ears kind of play into it.
And especially for being Alolan, right? So it was the Hawaii generation.
Yeah,
It was
think
Pokemon Sun and Moon,
Raichu, like, is a real creative.
Yeah.
I really like.
It's a
Alolan
creative take.
So I
No.
think it's a really solid design. I don't know about. Well, yeah, no, I'll stick by top tier.
Now, what about Gigantamax Pikachu? Gigantum.
It's bad.
Gigantamax Pikachu went right back to the original design of Pikachu, which is big chunky boy.
Did it really?
It did. See?
Oh, that's adorable.
See? I think that just for that, for the nostalgia alone, the fact that because Pikachu got skinnier over the years. So for them to go
Which
back
is
to chunky boy,
weird. What the hell, Nintendo?
I mean, he was always running outside of his Pokeball.
Eh,
But
I
I
guess
think
that's fair.
I think he can go in pretty solid design with Pikachu.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he's
Just-
top tier.
I like classic Pikachu. I think.
Yeah, classic Pikachu can go with modern Pikachu. I think that's pretty
it's
safe.
fine.
Now, Sandshrew, don't you have a personal love for Sandshrew?
Do I have a personal love for Sandshrew? No.
No. Oh, the
I
way
think
you
you're thinking of a different friend of ours.
perhaps.
We might be coming up on one of the Pokemon I have a personal love for.
Yes.
I do really like Sandshrew though. Just in general. If you
I
count
think-
Pokemon Go, Sandshrew was the first shiny I ever caught.
I think that Sandshrew and Sandslash I think that they're like, I don't think they're good enough for pretty solid design. I would say that they're like maybe
You know,
Sandslash.
I think they're fine Pokemon. They're fine designs. Being
Yeah.
an all right design is not a bad thing here.
It's not a bad thing. Being
It
all right
is-
is way better than being not a Pokemon. So,
No, being all right is way better than being bad. I would say not a Pokemon is better
But
than
now
being
what-
bad.
but now what about Icy Boys?
I really like Iced.
You
in
really like?
general,
I think that
but
those.
I think I like Sandshrews kind of igloo
Mhm.
aesthetic. I like that little tidbit. Sandslash,
It's just a
I'm
spiky. It's just an icicle
not as
Sandslash.
big of a fan.
Yeah, I think that it doesn't do anything better or worse than the original Sandslash design. But I think that the little igloo boy can go in pretty solid designs. I like his design. It's cute. It's a great take on an old Pokemon.
And I like how it looks like a little hood around his head. It's
Yeah.
adorable.
Well, because it's cold out. He's wearing his hood up.
Yeah, I really like Icy Sandshrew.
All right. Now, what about the Nidoran lines?
I never understood them. I've always really liked Nidorina and Nidorino.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the other ones. I think they're all fine.
I would agree. I think that for the most part, they're fine. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Nidorina's design as much as Nidorino. But Nidorino had a little more like, it had that cool horn and
I mean, they're literally like basically the same species. They're just like male and female.
yeah,
Isn't that the case?
that's exactly the case.
I'm really terrified of saying something that is absolutely not true.
Wow, did you just assume Nidoran's gender?
I'll do it again.
I'll do it again.
I'll probably do it again to someone other Pokemon this video.
All right. Clefairy and Clefable. Can I just say, I'm just gonna like say something, and I want you to tell me if you agree.
Dude,
I don't like their designs.
you don't.
I never have. I feel like they're too close to what Jigglypuff is. I feel like there's not enough of a difference between them and Jigglypuff. But I feel like Jigglypuff just has that cuteness factor to it that Clefairy does not.
I think of all the Kanto designs, Clefairy definitely like calls back that kind of classic Pokemon art style
Yeah.
before it started getting like really smooth.
I feel like Clefairy might have been like the second Pokemon design right after Rhydon. Because it feels very like thin lines, generic.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of an experimentation.
Yes.
I don't know if I don't care much for them. I don't know if I would necessarily call them bad designs, but I don't care enough to contest your decision.
that is fair. All right, now Vulpix and Ninetales.
I love Vulpix and Ninetales as well.
I love
think
these
I've said
designs.
that to a lot of Pokemon, but
I honestly love their designs. I think we can put them in pretty solid designs.
yeah, I really like Vulpix and Ninetale. We again have the Ice variants, which I'm not sure how to make of them. I still like the designs.
I like the designs. I don't think that they're pretty solid designs. I think that those would go in all right.
Yeah,
With like the
That's
little
fair.
50s poofy hair.
yeah, I think the designs are good.
Mhm.
They're fine. Right.
All right. Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff.
Wigglytuff, Guildmaster Wigglytuff, secretly the most powerful Pokemon in the world. uh, I think Wigglytuff could go in pretty solid.
Yeah. I think that Jigglypuff is pretty iconic, but I think we'll just put it in all right because it's just like the anime eyes and the
Yeah,
poof.
I mean, like, congratulations to Jigglypuff for making it into Smash. Round
Yeah.
of applause. But like, yeah, I like Wigglytuff better.
Also, Jigglypuff's design, especially from the other games, like it's supposed to be fluffy, but you never really get that. It looks too smooth to be fluffy. Like the other fluffy Pokemon look fluffy.
We'll get to that.
Jigglypuff just looks like it's a pink ball with a tumor. But
It's a tumor.
with a tumor.
It's very clearly hair.
All right. Zubat and Golbat.
Bad.
Bad. Yep. I was about to say these are not good designs. These are weird. They've haunted my dreams, and I don't like a personal vendetta that, you know, every time you enter a cave, you encounter a Zubat.
This is one of the rare, very not objective decisions we've made. Everything else has been super objective so far.
Yes. I feel like some people like Zubat, but not me.
I mean, like, really, at the end of the day, I don't really buy in Zubat, but just bad.
Bad. I think the Oddish line can go in bad designs as well.
I like Oddish.
I think, well, it's just an onion.
You said that about Bulbasaur too.
Yeah, but Bulbasaur has a cute face. Oddish is just an onion.
Oddish isn't even an onion. He's like a sprout.
What?
Like a little weed.
Oh, he is the weed Pokemon. That's
Yeah.
why you like him so much.
No. Can we talk about this on Twitch?
You can't abuse, like, I mean, you can make references to it. I've seen people hitting bong rips on stream. I don't know if that's still allowed, but
Well, I'm not on video, so it doesn't matter.
there you go. Just mute your mic.
No.
What's he doing? He's playing with a bubbler.
No, I like Oddish. I actually like all three of the Oddish evolutions. I think they're fine.
Is he taking
I like Vileplume in particular.
Is he taking a bong rip? No. He's just blowing bubbles into his milk.
This is me. I'm blowing bubbles when I'm not talking.
No, I'm blowing. It's like that joke, everyone going to heaven. I died while blowing bubbles. I died while blowing bubbles. And what's your name? I'm Bubbles.
Bubbles.
I don't like Oddish. Oddish can go in bad design.
I disagree. But it's your stream, so I can't stop you.
Don't make me put him in not a Pokemon. I feel like Gloom, I dislike Gloom's design just because he's super drooly, but I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design. I just don't like it.
It's fine. It's joining the growing roster we have of Pokemon with flowers on their heads.
Yes. Speaking of flowers on their heads.
Yeah. I think it's I think it's fine.
I think those are fine.
I don't have anything against it. I think Oddish is fine too, but someone just doesn't like weeds, I guess.
No. Who does? All right. Now I'm going to say Paris and Parasect, those are solid designs.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? The idea of a mushroom infecting a Pokemon and taking over its body, like the whole idea of their design is super cool, and they're very distinct.
Yeah, I like Paris and Parasect. I never liked them as Pokemon, but I like their designs.
Yes.
I think they're cool.
Now Venonat and Venomoth, I think they're all right.
And Venomoth. Venonat, I don't know. I would be with Venonat is just a gnat. It's just bigger and more fluffy.
It is Chunky Boy. Ooh.
Ew.
Gross.
Not.
let's not look those up.
I think Venonat at best gets a bad design.
Yeah, Venonat gets a bad design. I think the
I think
Venomoth.
Venomoth
Yeah,
is not a Pokemon.
you don't think it's a Pokemon? You know
No,
what? I can agree with you. If we put Butterfree in there, Venomoth is not far enough away from a moth for it to be a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just a moth.
All right. Now we got the Doug trio and the. Why am I blanking on his name?
Diggy Boys.
Diggy Boys. We got the Diggy Boys.
Diggy hole.
Yes.
I like Diglett.
Diglett's all right. I think it's definitely like an iconic Pokemon design.
It's weird because it's literally just like 2 eyes and a nose and a little thing that pops out of the ground.
Yes.
In the case of Doug Trio, 3 of them. But
I'd put Doug Trio in bad designs because that was just lazy design. It was lazy design, and they know it. Okay, what are we gonna do with this? Let's make it 3 of the same Pokemon.
Another of those Pokemon that were a big part of Mystery Dungeon, and because of that, I have a fondness for them. But
Yes.
again, I'm not going to fight you on this.
Yeah, I think that. I think that that's pretty fair. And now, what about their Alolan variants?
Alolan Diglett is a bad design.
Now,
it has hair, 3 hair.
It only has 3 hairs. Now, these guys and their
Alolan
luxurious manes,
Trio is fine.
top tier.
Top tier.
Look at their hair. You can't look at that hair and tell me that that's not luxurious.
I cannot support them being top tier. At
Fine.
best, they're pretty solid.
Pretty solid. I can put them in pretty solid.
All right. Yeah.
All right, now the Meowth line.
I don't care about. Oh my god, is that Gigantamax?
That is Gigantamax Meowth. They just stretched him. You know the thing where you stretch a cat?
Yeah, like my cat is super long.
Yeah, where you just hold up a cat and they're super long.
Yeah, no. So my kitten is super lanky.
Yeah, that
he's a little tubby, but like when you stretch him out, he just like keeps going. He's like a slinky.
Yeah, that's what Gigantamax Meowth is. He's just a long boy.
Oh my god. Alright, let's see this. I don't care much for the Alolan Meowth. Or not Alolan, no. Are they Alolan?
No, it's was it Alola?
I don't remember. Either way, I don't care much for either of them.
No, what region is he from? What are these? I don't know. I don't know which ones these guys are. Oh yeah, no, Alolan. There's an Alolan and then there's a Galarian Meowth. Which, by the way, stop making Meowth forms.
Yeah, I don't care for either of them.
Yeah. Bad designs.
Bad. I agree.
I'd even put regular Meowth in bad designs. I think that is just a cat with a coin.
I think regular Meowth is fine because the whole shtick behind it is the idea of a cat who has a penchant for like stealing shit.
Which is cats.
Which is cats. And as someone who had a kitten who has this real thing with bottle caps, of all things, he will literally just steal bottle caps. Literally, the second day we had him, the first week we had him, he managed to steal a chicken breast out of the garbage can. And I found him underneath my bed with like most of it eaten already.
He was hungry. You threw out a perfectly good chicken breast. Can you blame the man? Yeah. You know what? I think Meowth is fine. Although I have always disliked Persian's design. It is just a Persian cat, and I'm willing to put it in not a Pokemon.
With a little gemstone, which is like a little on the nose.
He's got a pimple.
So,
it's a Persian cat with a pimple.
I won't object to that. And then we have Nermal.
Yeah. I'm willing to put him in bad design because he still looks like a Pokemon, but he just looks like he ate a bee.
It looks like a knockoff Pokemon to me.
It almost does. You know what? Actually, that's a solid point. We're gonna put him in not a Pokemon then. There's a couple Pokemon that like they don't feel like Pokemon, and that's later on in the generations for sure. And then
I
what
think
about
that's just
Long
because
Boy?
We're old. I think that's just because we're old. Long Boy made me laugh, so he's probably fine.
You know what?
If
I'd
not,
even put him in pretty
good.
solid design. He's a stretchy boy.
If only because that's really funny.
All right, now Psyduck and Golduck.
I don't like them.
I don't like them either. I never have. I think that Golduck's design is all right, but Psyduck's design is just a duck. It's like it's enough of a difference where it is a Pokemon as opposed to a regular duck.
I don't even like Golduck.
I think that there's nothing inherently wrong with Golduck's design. But yeah, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of his design. What about Mankey and Primeape?
Mankey was one of those Pokemon that you could catch at starting at like level 5 or level 6 if
Mhm.
you first immediately went towards the Pokemon League in the first games.
Yes. Yeah, you could catch him pretty early on, and Primeape was
I
a
think it's
solid
bad.
Pokemon to have with you. You think it's bad? I think that Primeape is an okay design.
It's just a monkey.
Yeah, he's just a monkey, but he's
It's not
enough
even
of a.
that, it's like a monkey pig.
I
don't know
guess
what to
so.
I just don't know what to make of Mankey. What's he supposed to be?
I think he is a monkey pig.
Like I can tell that
He's
like
just
Nidoran
angry.
is based on like those little like moles,
Mhm.
desert moles. I forget what they're called. But I look at Mankey and like, sure, maybe it kind of looks like a monkey, but it's just brown.
Yeah, but I think Primeape can go in to all
I
right
guess.
designs. I mean,
I guess.
yeah, he's a little spooky looking, but I like his design and his whole like super angry like vein popping out. That's iconic.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, now Growlithe and Arcanine.
I love them. I adore these two Pokemon.
These Pokemon are good. I don't think there's anything that makes them great designs. I think they're just solid designs.
That's fair. Honestly, I'm okay with that. I adore these two, but I think that's okay.
All right. Now Poliwhirl, Poliwag, and Poliwrath.
I think they're fine.
I
have no strong opinions on them.
I think that these guys can go into all right design. And then I'll put Poliwag in all right designs, but I really like his idea for his design. You know what? I even want to put him in pretty solid. Just because the whole idea of his swirl is because you can see tadpoles' guts through their stomach. And so that's what that is. And I think that that's a really cool way to include that into the design.
I'm gonna go from a purely gut feeling of feeling very indifferent towards these Pokemon because I'm pretty sure there's tons of like these little details that some of these Pokemon have that like are taken from like very weird and niche facts about their anatomy or something or exaggerated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's good enough.
All right,
bumping it up, but
Abracadabra and Alakazam.
For the names alone, they're fine.
they're all right.
Yeah,
I would say that these two are okay, but I'll put Alakazam under bad design. I've never really liked his design. It just feels like a guy.
He has a mustache.
He does have a mustache, but
look at his mustache.
But his mustache is super wispy and lame compared to his Mega Evolution. He has 5 spoons, and look at that beard.
Kadabra's mustache is super wispy and lean too. So is Rattata's. I think mustache alone brings him up to fine.
You know what?
This is just an Overwatch character.
This is Zenyatta.
I've seen this.
Wait a minute. Oh no. Wait. Don't. No. No. Oh no. You're not wrong. Oh no.
I mean, it's a pretty typical like mystic kind of position,
Yeah, that's fair.
and normal Alakazam actually floats like that in the Mystery Dungeon game as well. So I can't denote him for that, but it's really funny.
I'll put him in all right design, but I do like the fact that he just gets a way nicer beard and just like 5 spoons.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty solid design, you know? Anyone that gets more spoons, where he gets them, I don't know. All right.
I don't know.
Machop, Machoke, and Machamp.
I if it wasn't for the fact that Pokemon that fire and fighting type Pokemon did this kind of wrestling theme better every time, I would say they're fine. But I think Machop is bad.
Machop is bad.
Machoke and Machamp are fine.
I would say Machamp is fine, but I think Machoke is just a beefy guy. He's lucky that I don't put him in not a Pokemon. Because that's just a dude. That's not a Pokemon. That is a dude. Have you ever seen that comic of the cuddling with your Pokemon is so cute, and then it's a person cuddling with a Machoke?
I thought you were going to talk about a very different comic for a second.
No. Here, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can bring this up.
Yeah, as far as like the wrestling theme goes, I think Machoke falls pretty flat when it comes to any other Pokemon that tackled this theme after, of which there's a number. So
there are several.
Machamp, I think, is good. It's fine.
Here, I'm just gonna bring it back. So, sleeping with your Pikachu, cute. Sleeping with your Machoke, weird. And I think that definitely puts it really into perspective. Machoke is just a dude. You know what? I'm even going to put him in not a Pokemon. He's just a guy. That's all he is. But I think that Machamp, I'd put Machamp in a solid design. I think that the 4 arms is very interesting. And then I've never seen his Mega Evolution before, but it terrifies me.
I think that's a Gigantamax.
Oh, sorry, it is.
And I don't like it. I think that's a bad design. Congratulations. He made his face and fist red. He looks like a Ben 10 monster.
He does.
He really does. He looks like he belongs in a different franchise.
Bad design.
Bad design. I don't
Bad
like
design.
it.
Bad design gives me nightmares. Remove it from the screen. You know, I'm just gonna
Oh, inspect element.
There we go. He can't hurt us anymore.
We'll see.
He can't hurt us anymore.
I'll laugh if there's a big space in there now.
That would be pretty funny. All right. The Weeping Bell lineup. Honestly, not a Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't mind them as Pokemon.
No, but the design is not a...
I think as a design, they're fine, but as a design, they're not a Pokemon.
Yeah, they are not a Pokemon. It's a pitcher plant.
Yeah, it's, yeah, no.
All right.
God knows what that mouth can do.
Oh my goodness. All right, Tentacool and Tentacruel.
I think
they're all right.
They're fine.
Yeah. There's nothing inherently good about them, but there's nothing inherently bad about them either. Like they're all
I
right.
have no strong feelings.
Geodude, bad design.
It's a rock.
It's a rock with arms.
All of them.
Yep. Same with, honestly, all of them bad design. Now they're
Except for maybe
alternative
that one
forms.
Graveler.
No, the
I mean-
Golem. The Golem here.
Yeah.
So I think that these guys can also go in bad design. I don't like their eyebrows. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
I like that Golem though.
It makes me feel uncomfortable that Brock is a Pokemon breeder who uses Geodude, and then all of a sudden there's a Geodude that comes around with Brock's eyebrows. Coincidence? I don't think so.
That's a really interesting point.
What did he do to his poor Geodude?
Oh my god.
You know what?
Get crushed.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put this in all right design. I think that the little Tesla coil design is kind of cool.
I think it's unique.
Yeah.
It's something.
I don't like his chest hair. The chest hair makes me uncomfortable.
The chest hair. I didn't even see the chest hair.
The chest hair makes me uncomfortable. but everything else I think is fine. All right,
Yeah.
Ponyta and Rapidash.
My Little Ponyta.
My Little Ponyta. You know what? I'm going to say Ponyta is just it has fire, so I wouldn't put it as not a Pokemon. But like barely. It's towing the line.
I think there's a precedent for it. But doesn't War ride on a flaming horse?
Yes.
Isn't that a thing?
And I think that's what
Isn't that what
Rapidash
this
is.
Isn't that what this is sort of based? Yeah, well, Ponyta is like a young Rapidash. I think it's fine, personally. I don't have anything against it. I mean, like, you're right. It's not super unique to stand out, but it doesn't have to be.
No, that's fair. It's
We
not a
have Diglett
bad
up
design.
there, like,
you bring up a good point, sir. Now, honestly, I love these different designs. I really do. I think that if you were going to change it up, it's weird. It's weird for sure, but I think that these are honestly just solid designs. And are they
they
fairy
look like
types?
cotton candy. I think they are fairy types, you know.
Galarian form. What type are you? Fire. Oh, and the Galarian is psychic.
Oh, interesting.
But you know what? Being a unicorn, right? Psychic, magical powers. I'd say that's an all right design. I like their designs. I wouldn't
That's
say
fine.
that they're pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm fair. I'm down with that.
All right. Slowpoke and Slowbro.
They were a plot point.
They were a plot point.
Hmm.
I think he's an all right design. I think
What
that
is
the
a Slowpoke even supposed to be? Just a lazy Pokemon?
just a lazy Pokemon. And I think that
Slowpoke has like similar vibes to Clefairy in a way.
it kind of does. A lot of the Pokemon, you know what? I don't think it's bad enough to put him as a bad design per se.
No, I don't think so
Yeah.
either.
But a lot of the Pokemon in the first gen were just kind of pink, like pink blobs.
Yeah.
But I think that Slowbro is a pretty solid design.
Very heavy on the pinks and purples. Yeah, I think Slowbro's fine. I like
I
the
think-
shell.
I think Slowbro is a pretty solid design. It's not a Shelder. It's not a Shelder. It's a scrapped Pokemon, but you can actually find concept art for it. What is this? Galarian? Galarian Slowpoke? Bad design.
Yeah.
It's Slowpoke, but someone peed on his head.
I don't care for any of these Slowpokes down here.
No,
I've never seen any of them before.
no, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of any of these. I think that, you know what? I think that this guy's an all right design. I like how he's a top and he's like just being consumed, and his poor little face is just mildly concerned about the situation he finds himself in. So for that, I'd say he's an all right design. But little Mega Man looking wannabe down here, no sir. And there's worse Mega Man Pokemon for sure. But all right, Magnemite and Magneton, bad design. Bad design for the same reason that Dugtrio is a bad design.
I guess I can't argue with that.
And then Magnemite, I think it was an all right design.
It's
Like
fine.
it was a cool concept.
I think it's one of the most recognizable Pokemon. Definitely.
Oh, easily.
Like it's got a super unique.
You know what? I'd even put him so far into like a pretty solid design. Like it's unique. Is the nuts and bolts, the eye, and the magnets. I think that was a good design.
Yeah, I've always liked Magnet.
All right, Farfetch'd. Not a Pokemon. Not a Pokemon. It's just
with a leak.
It's a duck with a leak. And by the way, making him dark and broody with eyebrows doesn't make him a Pokemon either.
Making the leak bigger.
Yeah, congratulations. He has a bigger leak. And he's dark and broody. Not a fan. Dodu and Dotrio.
I think they're fine.
I think they're fine. There's nothing inherently bad about them.
The biggest criticism is that it's just extra heads.
It's just extra heads. They did that a couple times.
Like, I guess, hang on. Dotrio. Bad design.
Bad design?
Bad
That's
design.
fair.
It's just another head. You have some feathers.
You added some feathers and you put another head on him. You gave him some Lululemons.
Like, how does that happen? How does that happen, like, mid-life? Do each of the heads have their own, like, thought processes?
Yes. There's not many thought processes, as you can see, but...
Imagine going through your entire childhood with, like, one other person, and then when you get to adulthood, a new person you have never met before appears out of your other shoulder.
Oh, then you should see the... Oh, what are they? From X and Y. The dragons from X and Y. You should see their Pokedex entries.
Like, anyway, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Dotrio, bad design. I'm willing to say that.
All right. Seal and Dugong. I'm going to say it. Not a Pokemon.
Not a Pokemon.
Not a Pokemon. There was a lot of comments that I was getting about Seal and Dugong, and you know what? Honestly, not a Pokemon. They're just not. I agree with those comments.
I never read the comments.
All right, Muck and Grime, or Muck and Grimer. I don't like I think that they're bad designs.
I'm just slimed.
They're just goo.
They're literally like generic slime monsters, like from any other RPG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just hit for 5 XP.
Yeah, I wouldn't even like say they're bad. I just think they're not a Pokemon.
You know what?
They're just slime.
You know what? Yeah, I would say so. And then what about the colorful ones? I'd still say
these guys have something unique going on with it. I like it, like the oily kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about I don't know about this one particularly.
You don't know about that one? Yeah.
I like Muck though. I think Muck is pretty good.
Would you put him in pretty solid?
No.
No. But he's all right. He's got the teeth. He's got like stuff going for him. And then bad design for the Grimer.
On here.
Which is just a Grimer, but green.
Yeah.
You know what? Even then, I'm going to put him as not a Pokemon. I just don't feel like he brings enough to the table in the means of a different design. Shelder and Cloyster, I think iconic. I think they're all right designs.
The shell. With the tongue.
Yeah, I mean the tongue alone. Right? One's a tongue and then one's, a sexual education guide.
Look. They didn't have to put the horn right at the top of his head.
They did not need to put the horn right at the top of his head. Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. I would say
Gigantamax Gengar.
yes.
Oh.
I would say that Ghastly is all right. Same with Haunter.
Yeah.
And I would even put Gengar in there. I think that the whole line of them they're all right. They feel like Pokemon.
I think Gengar deserves like an extra step up.
An extra step up?
Yeah. But I can't think of any good reason to say so. I just know that a lot of people like Gengar.
Gengar is nice. I don't feel like he mixes in with the other two from that line.
Yeah, he's a little bit of an odd one out.
Well, and the whole
evolutions go.
And the whole idea of his the whole idea of his design is basically like a Clefable's shadow. Is basically what his design is. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't think that's been officially confirmed, but that's like they're both identical in shape and he's a shadow Pokemon.
Yeah, I never considered that.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, fine.
Now, Mega Evolution.
Get above Clefable, so.
All right.
Gigantamax Gengar scares me.
Gigantamax Gengar, honestly, I'd say it's a pretty solid design.
Really? You put a lot of Gigantamax Pokemon up here, man.
I think that the Gigantamax were solid designs. I think that there was like they got really creative with the Gigantamax.
Yeah, compared to what is it in Violet and Scarlet?
Oh no, in Scarlet and Violet, it's just here's a hat for them and they're a new type now.
Yeah, compared to that, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
terrestrializing. Even Mega Evolutions, like Mega Evolutions and Gigantamax were just cooler.
Well, Gigantamax was half big. I never liked Gigantamax as a concept.
And then Mega Gengar.
Big Pokemon, just kaijus.
I like Mega Gengar. Yeah, I like Mega Gengar's design. I'd say it can go in pretty solid. They both feel menacing. Also, I love the fact that his mouth is super huge in the Gigantamax and you see his little arms just...
I don't know. He looks like the Looney Tunes. His mouth looks like the Looney Tunes thing.
That's fair. All right, Onix.
Onix, I don't like it.
No. Bad design.
It's a string of rocks.
I'd even put Hypno.
Actually, no. I always thought Onix was a super cool Pokemon as a kid. As far as cool factor goes, I think Onix is fine. It's just a crappy Pokemon.
Yeah, he's just a string of rocks.
Like, I don't think he's a bad design, actually. I take that back. But he could stay there if you really want him to.
Yeah, I think that he should stay there for the same reason like Graveler and Golem are staying there. It's like, it's just really a rock. Like, it's got a face and a horn.
Yeah.
But then the Hypno line can all go there. Drowsy and Hypno are bad designs. I hate them. They don't deserve. Yeah.
I actually wasn't expecting that. Why?
So, well, Drowsy's design is just a tapir. That's all he is. He's a tapir. Like, he's different enough to be a Pokemon, but I don't think he's different enough to be an all-right design. And then Hypno is just a dude that abducts children.
It's just a pedophile.
He's literally just a pedophile, right? Hypno's just waiting outside of parks going, hey, kids, want to see a magic trick? Like...
Go and get Elon Musk here to accuse Hypno.
Oh, no. Hypno drives a Tesla. Krabby, not a Pokemon. Kingler, not a Pokemon.
I like Krabby and I like Kingler, but yeah.
Yeah, they're not a Pokemon. It's a king crab. I've caught these.
I don't even like that Gigantamax one.
No, Gigantamax, he's got a beautiful mustache, but he's just a Pokemon. Actually, he is a Japanese spider crab.
He has a mustache?
Oh yeah, he's got a full beard there, made out of bubbles.
Is that a beard?
It's like a beard mustache. Here, hold on.
Never mind. I'm watching this through your stream.
Fair enough. Here, let's see. Yeah, it's the whole Santa thing. But he's a spider crab.
The beard is fun.
The beard is fun, but he's a spider crab, and spider crabs are terrifying animals.
And also not a Pokemon.
Also not a Pokemon.
So,
Although apparently spider crabs are delicious. The Japanese government actually wants people to eat more spider crabs because there's too many of them, and they're delicious. But they're freaky looking, and they're ginormous. Compared
we're
to...
gonna be here for a long time.
All right, let's... We might just have to make this one just Gen 1, but...
Just Gen 1.
Jesus Christ. Several episodes.
Oh, God.
My God.
I'm sorry, man. I'm probably making this take 3 times as long as
No,
needs to.
it's okay. It's good conversation. All right, well, let's finish Gen 1, and then we'll see how we feel. We might need to make this a couple different...
Yeah, let's speed run this as fast as we can.
All right. Voltorb, Electrode.
Fine.
You know what? I'd say bad design. It's a Pokeball. And same thing, it's an upside-down Pokeball.
I think they're fine because I find it funny that they just inverted it.
It's funny, but it's like... I just imagine a designer sitting at his desk being like, what should I design? And then looks over through like the glass window and the other glass window and just sees someone with a Pokeball on the wall and goes, oh, I got it.
Here's my theory. Voltorb and Electrode were created specifically for that one level in the power plant in the Kanto region.
Oh, where it's like
where some of them are actually Pokemon and not items.
You know what?
Like
That's
full fast one on you.
That's probably the exact thing. That makes a lot of sense.
That's my theory, and I still don't resent them for that because I still have that kind of anxiety whenever I'm in like a lair or something in a Pokemon game, and I see just like a bunch of Pokeballs. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, don't do this to me.
Voltorb. I don't think they're.
It's
bad
a mimic.
Designs. Exactly. And a mimic's a classic monster. Like I
it
think
is a
Voltorb
classic
and Electrode
monster.
are fine.
I still think that they're bad designs for Pokemon, but I like the idea behind them.
I think we should try and keep bad designs not as large as the middle designs.
That's fair. You know what? Then I'll put Voltorb up in all right designs, but Electrode stays in bad designs.
All right, fine. I can accept that.
They just flipped them over
and gave him eyebrows.
And
Smaller
gave him eyebrows.
Smaller eyebrows.
He's less angry and more mischievous. All right. Execute, I'd say not a Pokemon.
Eggs.
It's just eggs.
One of them broken.
One of them is
weird.
broken. Yeah, he's dead.
Should get that looked out. It's probably infected.
Yeah. Now the palm tree Pokemon.
I don't care for them.
I think that the palm tree is a bad design. Executor is a bad design, but I like his Alolan form.
I don't think Executor is necessarily a bad design. I just don't care for it. I don't feel strongly about this. You can do whatever you want.
I don't feel strongly one way or another. All right, Cubone.
I love Cubone.
Cubone, honestly, solid design.
Solid.
I would say. Would I put him in pretty solid designs, or would I put him just in all right?
A Pokemon that wears the skull of its mother has always, and the fact that like he has so many unique moves specifically related to the fact that he holds a bone.
That's fair. I'd say, yeah, that's pretty solid design. No, you know what? Because I don't think he's as high as like a Alolan Marowak.
Alolan Marowak,
The fire spinner?
No, I think he can be as high as Alolan Marowak. I think regular Marowak can go fine.
He's all right. There you go.
I think Cubone and Alolan Marowak can be together.
I agree with that. All right.
I think Alolan Marowak should have been the original one.
Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. I'm just going to say Hitmonchan, not a Pokemon.
They're both just karate. It's literally karate and like taekwondo.
It's literally Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan.
Sure.
Like that is literally what they're based on.
All right. Look, Tom.
Lick a tongue. Top tier.
Are you serious?
I won't hear anything about it.
Coughing. We'll
Cough-
just move on.
Coughing. Coughing's all right.
Lickitung, I think Lickitung is fine personally, but I do not care enough to try and fight this.
I just like the idea of him sitting beside Mustache Man. I think that coughing and wheezing are all right designs.
They're literally just gas clouds.
However, I think
Is it
that'll-
wheezing a molecular thing?
I can't comment on that. I don't know.
It looks like a molecule to me.
All right, but I think that a Alolan version of him, I think it's a Alolan? No, it's not Alolan.
Whatever.
It's Galarian. I think he's a pretty solid design.
I approve.
With
I
his
think
gas
it's-
cloud mustaches and his tall hat that's also a smokestack because it's based off of the region of Galar is based off of Great Britain and like the
Yeah.
UK. I think that that's
Yeah.
really solid. Like that was a solid design.
Yeah, no. And he has a mustache made of smog.
I think Rhydon and Rhyhorn, they're all right. Rhydon was the first Pokemon ever designed. I think that he can sit in all right.
They're literally just rhinoceros. Made of rock, sure, but
Yeah, I think there's enough that separates them. Well, Rhydon definitely is his own thing. I'd be willing to put Rhyhorn down into bad design because he's just a rhinoceros.
it's fine.
I think that he's the pink. If it was the pink Rhydon or Rhyhorn, I think that one would be in like S tier. Chansey.
This Pokemon, I think, was specifically made for the anime.
I think this Pokemon was specifically made for the anime. I think it's an all right design. I don't think
it's fine. Yeah.
There's nothing that makes it inherently a bad design except for the fact that it kind of looks like dreadlocks on a balding man. But aside from that,
It's a superior Clefairy, as far as I'm concerned.
yes,
Like,
it is a superior Clefairy.
As far as I'm concerned, that's what it is.
Panglia? I don't
Ooh,
know.
I think it's fine.
I think he is fine. I think once we get down to it, Tangrowth is a way better design though.
Yeah, we'll burn that bridge when we get there.
We'll burn that bridge when we get there. Kangaskhan?
I like Kangaskhan.
I'm not a huge fan of its design, and it was never really a Pokemon I enjoyed using either. I think that design-wise,
I like Kangaskhan. I think its little pouch baby is cute.
its little pouch baby is cute. You know what? It can go in all right design, and then its Mega Evolution goes in bad design.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because its Mega
okay with
Evolution, it
that.
literally just takes the kid out for a walk.
The kid joins the fight.
Child endangerment. It's
Just
literally
chuck your child at someone trying to attack you.
Mega Kangaskhan is child endangerment the Pokemon.
Oh my god. Alright, what do we have next?
All right, what do we have next? Horsey, not a Pokemon. Seadra, not a Pokemon. You know, I think this whole line, I'm just going to keep going down at Goldeen, not a Pokemon. Seaking, not a Pokemon.
I am not objecting to any of this.
Starmie. Starmie, it has enough changed about it that I would say it. I don't like Starmie's design, but I do like Staryu's design. I think Staryu has an all right design. I think Starmie is kind of plain.
Yeah, that's fair. I do not object to this.
Mr. Mime, not a Pokemon.
Oh,
It's
Mr.
literally a
Mime.
human. It is literally a human. And same thing with Galarian. I think not a Pokemon. In fact, less so.
Larian's that's terrifying.
It is horrifying. Yeah, he's a tap dancer.
Scyther.
Scyther? I think Scyther's all right.
Scyther's good. I like Scyther. I
He's
think
a-
Scyther's a good design.
But is he does he go up in the pretty solid designs?
I think he
You know what?
can.
I think it's
he
because
can
it's
go up in pretty solid.
because it like if you're gonna do a Mantis, I think that's the good way to do the Mantis.
Yeah, I think everything they did about Scyther was good.
Jinx, not a Pokemon. And have you ever seen the original design for Jinx?
Yep.
it's I'm not gonna pull it up on stream, but
Maybe in editing.
maybe in editing. But it's interesting, that's for sure.
We'll move on.
We'll move on. Electabuzz
And Magmar.
and Magmar. I never liked Magmar's design.
I think they're both okay.
I think I liked Electabuzz. I think Electabuzz is okay. You know what? I'd even be willing to put Magmar in okay because it like it's a Pokemon. It's not a bad design. I just don't like it personally.
Yeah, it's got a unique enough design.
Now Pinsir, I'm gonna say it.
Pinsir's great.
Not a Pokemon though.
No, Pinsir's fine.
It is not a Pokemon. It is a Hercules beetle. No, sorry, it's Oh, I forgot
I
what
don't
beetle it's
see
based
any
off of.
Hercules beetles with sideways teeth.
You're right. Hercules beetle was what's his name down there, Heracross.
Yeah, wherever it is, it's somewhere down
Yeah.
there.
However, Mega Evolution, I think is a pretty solid design.
He got wings.
He got wings. He's also got super aggressive eyes and giant, like, spiky horns. I think that it was a really good design for a Mega Evolution. Like, he opened up his wings and got pissed.
Yeah. All right. I don't object.
Tauros, I'd say it has enough changed to be a Pokemon, but it's not a good design.
What do you mean it's got enough changed? It just has 2 more tails.
It's got 2 more
It could be
tails.
the same tail. It could just be the same tail going really fast.
It's just going super fast. You know what? Solid point. Not a Pokemon. Not a Pokemon. Tail just
It's a
moves
bull.
fast.
Tail just moves fast.
Now,
Magikarp is
Magikarp,
a fish.
Magikarp is just a carp. However, Gyarados, pretty solid.
Yeah, Garrett.
Gyarados goes
Is that
right in the
classic?
same rank as Charizard. And then
Yeah,
Mega
it's a classic.
Gyarados, another pretty solid, I'd say.
He's all right.
Mega Gyarados getting that dragon typing and like just looking more like a dragon. I think it was a really good progression.
It's
All
a
right.
damn shame Mega Evolution didn't stick.
Right? So many people knew that
Oh my
Mega Evolution
God.
was just going to be a gimmick.
With that Eevee.
Oh yeah, the Eevee. But we'll get to it. Lapras. Lapras is all right.
I like Lapras.
It's
Lapras
all right.
Is good. It's fine.
Mega
That's very
Lapras
good.
though, because Mega Lapras is a ship.
That's Gigantamax.
Oh, sorry.
Is this a similar thing? Is it just another building?
It's a
'Cause I'm gonna
boat.
be a lot.
It's a
I'm gonna
cruise
be a
ship.
I'm gonna be a lot less impressed with this now, since we already went through this with Blastoise.
It's technically a cruise ship. You know, because you ride on the back of Lapras, so it's Gigantamax is just a cruise ship.
It's fine.
Yeah, I think it goes all right. I think I like its progression, but it's not a great design. No, Ditto, obviously. Top tier.
S tier.
Because Ditto can be anything.
It is the pink blob.
It is
of
the
first
pink blob.
generation.
Now I'm gonna say it. Eevee, pretty solid. I think that's fair. I would honestly go so far as to say Eevee is a more iconic Pokemon than Pikachu. It is a better mascot for the series.
I think they occupy co-mascot positions, and I think Nintendo knows it.
Yes.
I've always really liked Eevee. I don't think I've ever met a person who's looked at Eevee and dislikes it. Yeah, Gigantamax Eevee could go right up there with it. That's fine. I don't mind poofier Eevee.
So fluffy.
I don't think anyone has anything against Eevee. Now the Eeveelutions, on the other hand, they're all pretty fine. At least fine, at best very good. Oh.
Anyways,
bold statements.
Jolteon.
Elaborate.
No. I don't think you need me to. I think Jolteon's an all right design. I think he's spiky, he's fast. Flareon, again, I would put an all right design. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong about
Supersonic Puppy.
Yeah. I don't like Flareon in the new game. I don't like Flareon in the new game. Flareon in Scarlet and Violet, they decided to make its tail go straight up.
Straight up. Weird. Really?
It is a weird model.
They messed with my poofy boy?
Like, look, its tail just sticks straight up. Like, that's not it just moving. That's it just in general. Its tail just stands straight up.
Maybe they wanted to make it look more like fire?
I think that's what they were doing, but it was a bad move.
Yeah, I think they missed the mark.
They entirely missed the mark. Porygon.
Porygon's weird.
I'd say it's not a Pokemon. It's just paper mache. Or not paper mache, it's origami.
Is it? Is that the inspiration?
Pretty much, yeah. Porygon is just origami.
I think Porygon's fine. Honestly.
Like, I like him as a Pokemon, but I think design-wise, he's not a Pokemon. Or, like...
I don't know if I agree with this, but I can't think of any good arguments to the contrary.
What is Porygon based off of? Oh, we want to pull up
programming code.
We want to pull up the Pokemon or the the Porygon episode that got banned because it gave so many kids in Japan seizures.
What?
Oh, you don't know about that?
No.
So there was an episode that was like all about Porygon in the show, and pretty much it aired, and it caused Pokemon to be taken off the air for 4 months. 4 months, because in this episode, and I'm not going to pull it up here, but 4 months, pretty much the end of this episode, Porygon uses a move and it just like flashes really quickly bright red and blue on the screen for like a long time. And it immediately got pulled right off the air because it gave so many kids in Japan seizures.
Jesus.
Yeah. In fact, the original design or like the first Pokemon movie being called Mewtwo Strikes Back, the whole original idea of the script was Ash was supposed to have an episode where he came across Mewtwo and then he beat Mewtwo, and then the Mewtwo movie would come out and it'd be Mewtwo Strikes Back, and it would kind of be Mewtwo's revenge story, right?
It confused me when I was a kid. I was always looking for the missing movie that came before that one.
Yeah. No, that was the whole reasoning behind why it was called Mewtwo Strikes Back. And then the Porygon episode aired and Pokemon got kicked off the air for 4 months. And so they weren't able to, they kicked back the schedule so far that they weren't able to release that new episode with Mewtwo. And so the story of the movie became more of Mewtwo versus humanity, right? Like Mewtwo fighting back against the people who created him.
Yeah.
is what it ended up being, but it was originally supposed to be against Ash. Also, another fun fact about that movie, Mew was supposed to have a voice. And you can look this up. Not only was Mew supposed to be have a voice, Mew was supposed to be an asshole. Yeah. Actually, did you know Gaming just released an episode about Pokemon, I think a day or two ago, where they went over this kind of stuff. That's why it's fresh in my mind. But yeah, he was supposed to basically be taunting Mewtwo the whole time, being like, you're just a, like, copy. You're just a bad copy. Like, Mew was supposed to be a dick.
Huh.
Yeah, canonically. But they couldn't get the voice right. They couldn't get the voice lines plus sounding cute to sound right. So they just went, yeah, just make him say his name.
The good old fallback.
The good old fallback. Just, yeah, make him do what the other Pokemon do. Whatever. All right. Omanti? Or Omanyte?
Omanyte and the other one that I don't remember the name.
I think if we put Lord Helix in anything other than top tier.
Why?
Because Lord Helix.
That means nothing to me.
That means you know what? Yeah, they're all right designs.
Yeah, I think they're fine.
Yeah. I think that it definitely Omanyte is like approaching not a Pokemon, but I think it's just different enough.
That's cute. And it's supposed to be like a fossil thing.
And I would honestly put Kabuto and Kabutops right beside them.
That's fair.
Now, Aerodactyl, I don't know, because Aerodactyl doesn't feel like a Pokemon. Aerodactyl just feels like a pterodactyl.
Now that you bring it up, yeah. No, I agree.
Not a Pokemon.
Not a Pokemon.
And his Mega Evolution? His Mega Evolution, I would say, I would put it under bad. It's definitely the worst design of any of the Mega Evolutions, I think.
At 10.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh, I just had my kitten dropped off.
Ah.
Yes. Hello, friend. How are you?
All right.
Sorry, did we put love? Oh, he needed love. He certainly doesn't seem to want love right now.
All right. Snorlax, bad design. I'm gonna say it. Bad design.
Bad design.
He's just a chunky boy.
So?
He's just a big bear. Now, however, his Gigantamax having a whole, have fallen asleep for so long that a whole forest has grown on top of him. I would say that's a pretty solid design.
No, I disagree.
You disagree?
Just ripped off Torterra.
It's just a Torterra wannabe. You know what? That's a good point, but it's his stomach, not his back. All right. Now the legendary birds.
Oh, the birds. What is that purple one?
So Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, I'll put it. I think they can all go in all right design. I don't think there's anything that inherently makes them good designs.
I really like Articuno in particular as a design.
With the big flowy tail.
The big flowy tail and like the icicle looking like wing feathers. Like,
yeah,
I think he's I really like Articuno. I don't know if I would even bump it up maybe, but
Articuno. I don't think Articuno is a pretty solid design. I think that he'd be like high tier, all right, like somewhere in between the two categories.
Yeah, but we're not really ordering these, and we're not about to start. So
no, oh god, no.
Just sitting all right.
Now these are the. Which region are these from? These are also Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, not related.
These are Galarian, aren't they?
Yes, they're not. They're not related though.
I don't like them.
Yeah, I like the edgy design of Moltres. And for
don't.
that, I think I'll put it in all right.
I disagree.
Well, you can disagree all you. No, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong. I think that making Zapdos a Roadrunner, Moltres being, you know what? It is bordering on not a Pokemon.
What? You
Like,
okay, buddy?
I feel like this Moltres borders more on like being a Digimon.
Are we gonna wrap that under being a Pokemon though? Or is that just bad design?
I think it's just bad design. Because I think it still is a Pokemon for sure. Like there are some that just inherently are not Pokemon. Where it's like it's similar to a Digimon, but it's not like a Digimon.
Yeah.
And then
Alright.
Articuno, I like this one. I like how it's super mystic and whatnot. I'd put it in all right.
Yeah. Alright.
All right, Dratini line.
Dratini is a bad design.
Dratini is a
Dragonair's
bad
better.
design. Dragonair is a far better design.
Dragonite is a dragon.
Yeah.
A very nice looking dragon, mind you.
You know
Very
what?
kindly looking dragon, but
Not a
dragon
Pokemon.
nonetheless.
He belongs in Dragon Tales.
I love Dragonite, but that's literally just
It's just a dragon.
yeah,
All right, Mewtwo.
just big bird, but a dragon. I like Mewtwo. He's pretty cool.
I'd put Mewtwo in all right. I think that it's a solid like Pokemon design. I like it better than Mew's design.
As far as like
You know what? I'd even do this. I'd put Mew there, and then I'd put Mewtwo in pretty solid.
all right, yeah, that's okay.
All right, now it's Mega Evolutions, which I never understood why. One, it needed Mega Evolutions, and two, why it needed two of them.
It's like they lean harder into the two different aspects of Mewtwo. Like one where he looks more like Mew, and one where he looks even more like Mewtwo. Somehow.
I'm going to put them both in bad design.
Really?
I don't like either of them.
Yeah.
I feel like the way to defeat this one is just to tell him that he's just Mewtwo. And then the way to defeat this one here is just to put a bike lock on him.
It looks like a Mew, but Mewtwo.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind him. I don't know.
I'd even go so far as to say it's starting to approach, these two are starting to approach like Frieza territory from like Dragon Ball.
All right, I guess fair point. I guess
All right. Well, that's Gen 1.
that is Gen 1 2 hours later.
2 hours later. I think we're going to have to make this a
Oh my
couple.
God, how many generations are there? If
We're
it
on
takes this
9.
long-
We're on 9. Most of the generations have a lot less Pokemon than that. So 151. And then I think most of them are sub 100. There's 3 generations that have more than 100 Pokemon.
Ah, Aaron, my one true love. My boy.
That is a child.
It's a child made of metal and iron.
Oh, but look at his Mega Evolution. Oh,
Aaron is S tier already.
S
All
tier.
of Aaron
All,
is S tier.
all S tier.
As far as I'm concerned. Well, there it is. A perfectly objective ranking.
Yes. There's
No
a
one
lot
can
of
argue with this.
There's a lot of Pokemon in Gen 1, and they did add the other alternative forms that are definitely not Pokemon.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot more than I thought there would be on this list.
Well, it was
Of the
151.
Not a Pokemon specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, I always give Gen 1 the benefit of the doubt.
What, that's 9, 36, 40 even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Gen 1 had a lot of Pokemon that weren't Pokemon, but it was also Gen 1. They were trying to figure it out, and it definitely got better in Generation 2.
Yeah, it was very experimental.
Yeah. They were literally just seeing if it would work, and then it went way better than that. After Gen 1, and I would say after Gen 3, any of the Pokemon that fall in the not a Pokemon section are just bad. Really bad. Like,
just bad.
there is no excuse after Generation 3 for there to be the not a Pokemon, you know?
I mean, like, I agree to an extent. I mean, look at Tepig, for example. He was just a little further down.
Oh,
It's just a pig.
It is just a pig.
It's just a pig. All three of them, really.
Yeah.
Like, I think every Pokemon has... A lot of Pokemon are based on animals. Good reason.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's almost like they draw their inspiration from animals.
But then you have stuff like a cat, again, for like the 5th time. And it's just another cat.
Yeah,
there's just another bird.
There's a lot of
just
Pokemon.
Another electric mouse.
Where's the one that I'm thinking of? There's one of these guys that is definitely not a Pokemon, and I'm looking for him. Where are you? Right here, Zebstrika. Is it
I
Zebstrika?
thought you were gonna point at the fucking teacup.
No. We don't talk about the teacup.
They're right there. It's just a teacup.
No, it's not Zebstrika. This guy.
What's that?
A Pokemon. Can't you tell? Can't you tell that's not just someone's fursona?
All right.
It's,
We can get into a discussion about personas at a time that isn't 4 after 11.
yes. But you know what? I think that's really solid for Gen 1. And of course, we do have a couple Mega Evolutions, things of the sort.
You're lucky I'm here to save you from yourself, Dust. Fox.
I'm just saying, some of these Pokemon, bad designs. Just gonna grab him though. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where are you? I know you're here. Gotta scroll a little bit. I'm doing this with one hand. I should probably do it with two. There we go.
Oh boy, the catalyst for this whole thing.
I'm making a stand on that. That is not.
Put him right at the top. Put him right at the top of the
Right-
not a Pokemon list.
Right at the top of not a
Just to
Pokemon.
rub it in the faces of everybody.
And people-
now he's
people
there
have been
with
trying to
every
s-
other Pokemon people mentioned.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that, all of you. You see, I put them right beside everyone else that you told me to put there, minus a few.
And it's just Gen 1.
And it's just Gen 1. All they were making was arguments like for Gen 1. I said in the video, I said this is the worst design of this generation. It is uninspired. And everyone was like, what about Gen 1? I bet you defend Gen 1. It's like, I said this generation, Gen 9. I specifically said that. And I had to double check. I double checked the video just to make sure that I said this generation. I was like, if I didn't say that, that's fine. No, I said it. I said it, you fuckers. I said it. I said this generation.
I think it's just people piling on to the bad Pokemon pile.
Right there-
Everyone wants to contribute.
Everyone wants to say, oh, well, Gen 1 was so bad. It was the first generation, guys. There's a lot of them here that were bad designs, and there were a lot of them that were not a Pokemon. But, like, they were figuring things out. It got a lot better. in the second generation and the third generation. Sure, you still had some that it's like, well, that's just a spider, you know, or
Sheep.
like
It's just a sheep.
it's just a sheep, right? Like
It's a sheep.
you still had some of those for sure, but then you had solid designs for Pokemon like Dunsparce and like, you know, Mudkip, right?
Oh, and we start to get into the retroactive, like pre-evolutions, like
Yes.
Elekid and Pichu. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Right, there's a lot of them, you know, and sure, there's some that still aren't Pokemon, and of course we'll go into that later on, but you know, and for everyone that was saying, oh, well, I bet you just love Gen 1 because you're old. No, actually, my favorite generations were Gen 4 and 5. Easily.
I don't know about Gen 4.
Diamond and Pearl?
Diamond and Pearl had their issue.
They had their issues, but I think overall the designs were pretty solid. What was it? Sorry, you got a frog in your throat there.
I said fire types.
There.
The one fire type in Diamond and Pearl.
Excuse me, sir. There were 3.
Oh, forgive me.
There were 3, okay? There was Infernape, who was a firefighting type, by the way, which is an aggressive combo.
Not that anyone cares, but I played basically all the games from Fire Red onward, and stopping basically on the Switch because I'm broke. But
Fair.
I definitely spent the most time in my youth playing Diamond and Pearl and Black and White.
Yeah.
Especially Diamond and Pearl. Looking at like the Diamond and Pearl Pokemon roster right now, like just gives me
Super nostalgic. Yeah.
If there's one thing, even though this doesn't really factor into our design decisions, there's one thing that Diamond and Pearl got right about all of its Pokemon, it's like their cries.
Yeah.
Diamond and Pearl Pokemon cries are like top tier. They're all so unique.
I would say hands down the best Pokemon, or one of the best Pokemon cries without any failure is Kricketune.
Yeah.
Kricketoon's call is so distinct and it's so memorable. Like
They
everyone
all
else
do.
was like a kind of yeah,
They
no,
all
that
have, like, even like Infernape sounded like a kind of like a monkey, like
yeah.
like just Gen 4 had just amazing
Gen
Pokemon cries.
Gen 4 was super solid, and yes, I am biased, right? Because I'm the same way. I spent probably most of my time playing Diamond and Pearl, although I will say, if you can get one of the 3 games from Gen 4, get Platinum. And the fact that they didn't put any of the Platinum content in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was a shame. They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
It was a disservice.
It was a fucking disgrace, is what it was. Like
I was so disappointed in those because I was hoping they would actually have the Platinum stuff.
Platinum added so much to the story, so much. It added so much content and so much just more rounding to the story, and then they just went, nah. But you get chibi characters, right?
Gen 5 remake is probably going to be butchered.
Oh yeah, they will absolutely slaughter Gen 5 remake.
I wonder what they're going to do with it, because like
Gen 5 is
Black and White 1 and 2.
Yeah. Gen 5 is widely considered like some of the best Pokemon games ever, period. Like in the means of the story and the Pokemon design and like everything about that generation was fantastic.
Gen 5 was definitely like, I think, where the Pokemon creators were trying to do their best. The problem is that everyone railed on the fact that the map was like really linear, and they also like sold the worst.
They did sell well, so they Gen
Especially,
5
Black and White 2.
Gen
which
5
was arguably the better game.
Gen 5 specifically tried to target the older audience, right? So the audience that grew up with Pokemon, That's why it's the first games where you don't play as a child like a 10-year-old. You play as like a 14 or 15-year-old in those games. Like you play as a teenager, right? It was definitely a more mature story, but it was so good. So good.
Gen 6 did that too. You played as like 16, 15, didn't you? I don't remember.
Gen 6 was
the French one.
Was it the French one?
The rollerblades, yeah. You remember that?
Oh, yep.
It was the first one with the customization.
Yes. Although super limited.
Super limited, but it was there. There's something. But where was I? Oh yeah, no. I have a lot of fond memories of Gen 4 and Gen 5. Gen 5 was like a new 151.
Well, yeah. Gen 5 added the most Pokemon since Gen 1.
Yeah.
And then, well, that's why.
Bet a good chunk of them are going to be stinkers when we get down there.
Probably just garbage, trash. These two are trash.
Literal trash.
Sock and Throw can like go away.
The Gears trash, yeah.
Oh, Clink.
Keys.
Or it's Clink, Clang, and Clink Clang.
Fungus can go to hell.
Don't remind me of the keys.
Wannabe.
I hate the keys. Yeah. There was a lot that was really awesome about Gen 5. I think that they should do a remake, but I just hope they don't butcher it. Because Gen 5, like, Black and White, like, Platinum has a pretty much identical story to Diamond and Pearl, but they added more to it, refined it, made it better. But Black and White and Black 2 and White 2 have different stories.
Oh, not even different stories. Like, they're just direct sequels.
Yes. Right? So, so if you're going to do it, you would have to add kind of... It would have to be a 2-for-1, honestly, I think. Because you can't do one without the other.
But they probably will.
Yeah. Oh, these guys are who I was talking about.
Who were? The tornado genies?
No, not the genies, but the dragon types here. They're Pokedex entries. When you were talking about Dodu, those Pokemon like Pokedex entries.
Oh, I'll have to look at them.
Yeah, their Pokedex entries are basically like one head, super fun and happy. Second head, now they're fighting over food because the one that eats the more food is smarter. So they have to fight over food and resources while sharing a body. And then in the final evolution, it sprouted another one, but basically the two heads on the side, their brains withered away and are gone. And it's only whoever the most dominant head was that's left.
You see what time Mark's warehouse opens up tomorrow? Sure. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Something. I need to look something up real quick.
Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, so you could have raised him.
Close.
You-
know, but what time did you? 9.
But you could have raised him from a baby, and it still wouldn't matter.
I might. Specifically, long carving hands.
Nope. Here, just give me 1 sec.
Either a black or a navy blue. I don't think I have that.
Ooh. Man.
I'm back.
Okay. Sorry, I had to turn you down there for a bit.
No, that's fair. Just something happened.
That's okay.
Something rather catastrophic. It's okay. Everything's fine.
Everyone died.
We're about to.
Just destroyed my fucking work pants.
Oh. Good job.
Does good job. Question mark.
Man. Yeah, they're. I don't know.
Like, look at that. It's another cat. Like, there's stinkers in every generation, and I'm not afraid to call starter Pokemon stinker.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the starter Pokemon are stinkers. I don't think all of them are,
No,
but like,
definitely not.
but there's a lot of them.
So, but I think I gotta go, my guy. This has been real. This has been
Yeah. I think that we're definitely going to have to do the other generations afterwards, but that is our generation 1 plus a few others that kind of got grouped in.
Plus the Megas and Gigantamaxes for
Yeah.
rounds.
Alternate forms.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of stinkers, especially in Gen 1. But with all these stinkers that everyone was talking about for me, your Flamingo's still in there. And your
Right at
set
the
of
top.
keys are still in there.
Right at the top.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to be
Worst
put
Pokemon
right
of all
there.
time. Everyone knows it.
Klefki can, like, just, I don't know, go commit unalive.
Keys, man.
I don't like the set of
Can't just
keys.
say stuff like that.
I don't. It's a set of keys. What's it gonna do? It's not
Get
like it
lost.
can. It's gonna get lost. It's a set of keys. It's gonna hang itself up.
Gonna put itself in the locker.
It's gonna go into your washing machine and it's gonna mess up your washing machine.
All right.
All
You
right.
Have a good evening.
Yeah,
man.
you
It's been
too.
fun.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. It's been a blast.
See you next time to
See-
argue with you about Pokemon.
See you next time. I love how you were like, let's argue about it. And then we did no arguing. It was just like,
No,
you know
I
what? We
think
agree. We agree.
No, I think we were. There were disagreements.
Yeah, there were disagreements, but there was no like objective arguments where I was like, this one's trash. And you're like, how dare you?
Yeah, I don't care enough, sadly. If anyone thought I was here to like defend your favorite Pokemon, you're wrong.
I
I'm
was
here
just
to defend my favorite Pokemon.
yeah. So anyways, I put Vulpix down and not a Pokemon.
Wait, hang on. You can't do that. I know it's just nine-tailed fox.
It's overdone. What can I say? You know, you see them all the
Naruto did it
time.
First,
Pokemon did it first. I'm sorry. Who released it back in 1998? All right, but
wow,
you take care.
you as well, man.
Alright.
See ya.
All right, bye. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Oh, that was Gen 1, but I had a lot of fun doing that. So we're probably going to do the other generations at some point here. But yeah, if you disagree with anything that I said here, please let me know. I'd be happy to have an argument. I'd be happy to debate it with you. If you've been watching this live and you dropped in halfway, you want to see kind of what the list looked like and everything of the sort, head on over to my VOD channel where you can see this and all my other VODs. All my other past broadcasts will be there. So you can find them all in one place. They're all organized for you into different playlists and everything. I put a lot of work into that. If you like what you see and you want to see me when I go live again, hit that follow button. I appreciate it. It costs you nothing and it helps me out a lot. It'll let you know when I go live. I go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you are watching this on YouTube, come see me. Come say hi. I might even start streaming on YouTube. You can find all my clips at this channel right here. YouTube.com @I'mFoxasaur. That's where you can find all my shorts, my clips, and my videos. So. But it is late. And I think it is time to get heading out. So let me throw on a track that fits the mood. Just gonna find it here. So, thank you for coming out. I hope you have a good night. Stay happy. Stay safe. Stay warm in these winter months. And I'll see you on the next broadcast. Take care.